What's up, y'all? We back at it with Kagurabachi Chapter 97. 3 chapters away from hitting that 100 chapter mark, and I imagine we should be hearing something about an anime by the end of the year. I just gotta have faith. I just gotta have faith about it. But this chapter right here is crazy because we find out a little bit about what a person has to do to become, I guess, leader of the barrier. And it sounds like a job I wouldn't want to have. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, with all the perks they may get, that's a job I definitely wouldn't want to have. But I also think we know why they call this young kid the strongest of the Hishaku group. I think we got an idea why. But hey, it seems like your boy Azami is planning on dying. Yeah, it seems like he might not make it, yo, just because of the stuff he says in this chapter. And we're about to get right into it, man. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. I don't know how I'm gonna feel if he gets taken out, man. Maybe Shiba will show up and save him, but the dude is getting wrecked up. You know, wrecked toe up from head to toe, facing off against Yura. Granted, Yura hasn't been able to get past him, but at the same time, I just really feel like this may be the end for Azami. I don't know. You guys can let me know down below how you feel about it. But let's get into the chapter. So the chapter starts off where they're talking about, spiritual energy, and energy belonging to no one cannot be controlled by anyone. And you have it where, in other words, the immense source of spiritual energy fundamentally beyond a human's control. Spiritual energy that has nowhere to go will naturally start to dissipate. And you have it where it jumps to the main guy that's in the middle of this barrier that's keeping Chihiro as well as Samura from breaking in. And you have it where he says that's why he is here. He says he's the cornerstone of the barrier and the one who sits in the middle. The person who is selected once every 10 years from the applicants and suitable candidates of many. So that means many people apply for this role, but not everybody gets it. Only one person. It says the 10-year term has been completed, a reward sufficient to live a life of luxury and bestowed for the one who complete this mission. First, the person have to reshape their body. Then, afterwards, they're wandering between life and death for about 4 months. That's insane. 4 months? Hey, I don't know if I want that type of life, but they say the trainee loses several of their organs and reproductive function, meaning these guys can't even have kids. The vast unchanneled spiritual energy is converted into a barrier through the user as if working like a conduit. Oh, hell nah. The user becomes a being without compare who is capable of enabling the barrier, serving as its core with 6 others connected to him at all times for a provided auxiliary when necessary. Oh, hell nah. But you have it where it jumps to them where they're pretty much saying like, yo, someone's got to be in here disrupting the barrier. Someone else who undergone the same type of training has to be within this building, and they're disrupting the energy flow of the barrier, which is keeping Chihiro as well as Samura from coming into this place, into this location, this government facility. And you have it where they're trying to figure out who could it be. You got the guy with the rough hair who kind of looks like Logan from Wolverine, saying like, yo, it's got to be someone here that's actually interfering. He's thinking it's someone in this room amongst the 6. And then that's when the guy in the middle says it can't be anyone in this room, because if it was, he would have detected it a lot sooner. He would have detected the disruption a lot sooner. So it can't be no one in this room. It has to be someone else. And you have it where they're talking on the comms, trying to let everyone know like, yo, spread out. Let's see if you see anyone who looks suspicious and take them down. Anyone from the Hishaku group, obviously, they're a potential candidate for this. But you have it where he's talking to everyone, letting them know that they need to go find these, find who this person is, who this fake is. And that right there just seems like a mission in itself. But as that's going on, you got it where they're still trying to figure out how did this person manage to sneak in? How long was this person within this place? And then that's what leads me to believe that it may be the guy that's known as the strongest, or that Yura said was the strongest of their group. So I think it's that young kid. He might actually be this new, source that's blocking the barrier. Just the way he's acting and how he's, just saying like, yo, we will make Yura the strongest, just because of some of the lines that he actually says within this chapter. But anyway, you have it where the kid is sitting down And he says, we will make Yura king. Like, his goal seems to be to make Yura king. Even though he's labeled as the strongest, he doesn't care about being the king. He wants Yura to be the king. And I'm curious to know if we will get a backstory of this kid and why he wants Yura to be the king among all the other members of their group. Get it? I get he is the leader, but it's got to be a reason why this kid, as powerful as he may be, accepted Yura as the king. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. You guys can let me know your thoughts on it. But then it jumps back to your boy Yura, as you know, everyone within the building is trying to locate the members from his group, as well as try to figure out who is actually blocking and interfering with this barrier. But you have it where Yura standing there saying, such a fearless battle style will make you run out of steam, don't you think? And he's talking to Azami, and Azami still looks very confident, but at the same time he's sweating. And he goes to say like, yo, and this is a dope ass line. He says, I'm glad to hear that you're so worried about me, but that goes for you as well. You know, fighting with this power, with this enchanted blade, it's going to lead to your own demise as well. And you have it where he says, even with the power of the enchanted blade in your hand, you're still getting your ass whooped by someone like me. Shouldn't that worry you? Yo, the fact that Azami is talking trash like that, hey, that shit is so cold. And you have it where, you know, they show a panel of the sword bearer and it looks as if he's standing up. I swear this guy's been standing up for the past 10 panels. Like, dude, like, get all the way up. Like, I swear he's always on a verge of standing up, but not actually standing up every time they show him. I don't know, maybe it's just me within the past few chapters. But anyway, you got it where Yura goes to say, little by little, I'm starting to get the hang of it. He's starting to get used to the centipede power of that enchanted blade. And he says like, yo, as your expectations are at a high, only right I start to meet them by now. Saying that, yo, you know, Azami is expecting the high results from Yura. So Yura saying like, yo, I'm gonna give you those results that you think you should be getting. And then you see like many centipedes all around your boy Yura. And he says, oh man, this is crazy, man. And I wonder if he's gonna survive, because it looks like he's on the verge of death from using this power. But you have it where Yura says, I will bring order to this country. And it's crazy because he deems what he's doing as right, which means there's even more to the story that we think we know from 18 years ago. At least that's what I'm gathering from this panel right here. But you got it where it jumps back to Ichi as he's talking to Kenzan, and they're trying to locate, you know, the person who's interrupting this barrier. And you got it where you know, Ichi tells them like, yo, we're gonna find out who's interrupting this, and we will kill the host. And once we get rid of the host, everyone, you know what I'm saying, all our allies will be able to come within this building to stop, you know, to stop Yura as well as the rest of his group. And he says like, yo, Chihiro as well as Samurai, they're just outside of the building and they will get into this barrier, and the original barrier will be restored. And of course it jumps back to Azami, and Azami, as Azami is standing there, you got him thinking, if the barrier is broken, the reinforcements will arrive. Then you got it where they also show your boy Natsuki as well as Yoji. They're both injured, but they still seem to be conscious. And you got it where Azumi says it's all up to the enchanted blades for that, meaning that he's not planning on winning this battle. He's just trying to do what he can to allow Chihiro and Samurai enough time to make it to this location, meaning that he's planning on dying. This is, oh my gosh. And you got it where he goes to say, he said, both of my hands are down to the bones, pure mush. The enchanted blade nonsense is really starting to get on my nerves. Too bad our resources are limited. The more we fight, the less likely we are to lose it all. But even beyond that, done punching you, and you see him take his final stance. I'm not gonna lie, this joint look dope as hell. Even though the mangaka, you can tell they're tired, but the way the blood is just popping out his fist, the way his hands is beaten to mush, but he's still using his ability to force himself to fight on. This is amazing right here. But you got it where he says, I'll do my utmost to waste as much time as possible, at least before I die. I'm counting on you two. Oh my gosh, this is such a dope line. But of course you got it where they're still trying to locate where the person is who's actually disrupting this barrier. And you have it where they say on the intercom, like, yo, just kill any of the Hishaku group members as well. And if anyone try to stop you, obviously they're working for that group. So make sure you wipe out each and every one of them. He says, again, I repeat, absolutely demolish them. If you see anybody, the fact that he said absolutely demolish them, that means they ain't even trying to take no witnesses. They want them wiped out. And then you have it where they show all of the members of the Hishaku group, and they show the little seal that may be interrupting with the actual barrier. And you have it where Chihiro as well as Samurai is still on the outside trying to make their way in. And that's how the chapter ends. Man, this is such an amazing chapter. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts, man. Do you think the young kid is the one that's behind the barrier that's disrupting? Well, do you think the young kid is the one that's behind the disruption of the barrier, or do you think it's another member of the group? I mean, it might even be the one who looked like Best Genius. I feel like he's the only character we really haven't seen get involved, and most of his body is covered, so you wouldn't be able to see the holes that come from preparing yourself to be able to sustain a barrier. So maybe he is the one. But I want to go with the strongest, the young kid being the strong, since he's been labeled as the strongest among their group. I want to say maybe he's the one doing it. But then again, like I said, it could be any one of them. Let me know your thoughts down below. Who do you think this person is? And do you think Azumi is actually going to die facing off against Yura, man? I hope not, but it looks like that. It looks like he's prepared to die anyway. And Natsuki might even die as well, or Yoji. All of these guys could potentially die because they are facing off against the centipede attack, which seems to be pretty damn powerful. But let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.